hot and a lot of families go to the pool, but sadly we hear about tragedies in the water all too often, but rarely like this. A dad electrocuted while trying to change out their pool light. Noah Lonnegraf taking action for us so we can all learn from this. This family was left feeling pretty helpless, Nohe.
And you know what, Katie, that is part of what makes this story so sad, as we know that this man's wife and his kids were on the deck as it happened. They tried to get close, but the water kept zapping them. And in fact, I just saw a little bit of lightning, so for safety purposes, I'm going to stay away from the water as well. That's one thing. Phoenix Fire says if you're thinking about yourself in the situation like this family, the first thing you want to do, find the breaker in your house. Make sure it is shut off. And that's really something you want to do before you attempt a fix like this. Also, if your home is older than 25 years old, consider this.
The codes were different. They didn't require GFIs. Nowadays, if you build a pool, they require a GFI. And so a GFI is for safety. It's something that shuts off and prevents you from being electrocuted, especially when we talk about conducting with water.
So what she's talking about is find out if your house has a ground fault interrupter before even attempting a fix like this. Also, avoid getting into the water if at all possible. Now, in this case, near 39th Avenue in Encanto, when this young dad, just 27 years old, was finally pulled from his pool, he had no pulse. Even neighborhood friends are in absolute disbelief.
That's a slap in the face to hear that. I mean, because it seems like it's always the really good guys that, something happens to, and he's a good guy. He's a good stand-up guy. I knew him when he was this big.
Now, there's also something called a non-contact voltage tester that you can get. It is a bit pricey, but essentially what happens is you put it up against the pool wall and it'll beep and flash. An alert will go off to let you know if electricity is still flowing inside your pool and if it's conducting. Meantime, of course, the #1 rule here, and we know a lot of you want to try and take on fixes like this by yourself, but really you should call a professional. And Katie, of course, we say this not to pass any form of judgment, but simply so people can learn from this tragic situation.
Absolutely, we have to be safe. Nohe, thank you. Come inside, get out of that lightning.